Hey guys, what's up? Chad Wesley Smith here for Juggernaut Training Systems, joined by the lovely Marisa Inda. Marisa Inda. And Marisa is USAPL national champion in the 52 kilo class, as well as the American record holder in the bench with a bench of 87.5 kilos, 193 pounds, which she did at about 112 body weight. So today we're going to address bench training tips specifically for female lifters. Marisa, being one of the best female bench pressers in the world, is going to give you some great practical insight to this. You know, there's so many women out there who seem to really struggle to bring up their bench press. It just doesn't progress for them, and every 5 pounds or every 2.5 kilos seems to be that much harder to come by than it is for their male counterparts. So there's really 3 main points that we want to talk about today. First is an emphasis on hypertrophy training. Then second is going to be the frequency of overload training. And finally, some technique and mindset tips to the bench. So the first thing we want to talk about is an emphasis on hypertrophy training. Females are going to be naturally less muscular, particularly in the upper body, compared to male lifters. Because they're naturally less muscular than male lifters, they need to put that much more emphasis towards hypertrophy training. Marisa is definitely one of the more muscular female lifters. If you were to line her up next to all the other 52 kilo class lifters, it would be apparent right away how much more muscle she's carrying, especially in the upper body. So Marisa, what are some tips you have as far as hypertrophy training?
So I was pretty fortunate when I started lifting that I fell into a group of bodybuilders. So a lot of powerlifters like to forego bodybuilding training, but I think especially for females, doing a lot of dumbbell work, higher volume, supersetting has really helped me put on a lot of muscle, which has helped me be a lot stronger in the bench press. So more bodybuilding movements, more frequency, and more volume.
So now that we've talked about the need for more hypertrophy training for the female lifter in the bench press, that really is going to relate to how frequently we overload. And overload is going to be the hard training that drives adaptation. So training that's stimulating enough to increase muscle size, muscle strength, or hone technical prowess and neural efficiency. All right? And because female lifters aren't going to be able to create as much stimulus with a single session because the weights aren't as heavy, they're going to need to and be able to train more frequently. This is going to kind of hold true for female lifters or male lifters, but the muscles of the upper body, particularly the shoulders and arms, are smaller certainly than the muscles of the legs or the back, and smaller muscles recover faster. So you're going to be able to train those muscles more frequently. Female lifters are often going to need to train 2, 3, maybe even 4 times a week. And particularly during a hypertrophy block where volume is the key, 3 to 4 times a week training is going to be great, assuming the schedule allows for it and they can recover from it. To get the necessary stimulus and the necessary volume during only 2 sessions a week might mean that those sessions are 15 to 20 work sets per session. The lifter might just not be able to get days worth of quality work. They just become too fatigued by later in the session and they can't handle the weights anymore. So splitting it up into 4 sessions is going to allow each session to be higher quality. And I think you can really see this importance of frequency manifest itself when you look at gymnasts or a lot of CrossFit competitors who are naturally very good pressers, and they're being good pressers because they're training those upper body muscles every day. So the more frequent training you can do for those muscles, the bigger they're going to get, the stronger they're going to get, the better your bench press is going to get. So Marisa, I know that you have a background as a gymnast. Could you kind of talk some about your background there and how high frequency training has helped your bench press?
So I think coming from a gymnastics background really helped me because in gymnastics you're doing a lot of body weight movements. It's all upper body. It's push-ups, it's pull-ups, you're pulling yourself up on the bar, you're doing a lot of handstands. And even now I still do pull-ups about 3 times a week. I do push-ups after every bench workout. If I'm benching 2 or 3 times a week, I'll still incorporate a lot of body weight movements. Don't be afraid to throw those things in there. It's going to put on muscle, it's going to help your bench.
Last thing we want to talk about in regards to training the bench press for the female lifter is going to be technique, all right? And obviously, if you have social media, you see female bench pressers using more significant arch than male lifters, and certainly some of the lifters using an extreme arch. And it seems like female lifters almost tend to get caught up in the idea of using this arch or ultra wide grip and trying to cut down the range of motion as much as possible, and they almost forget about the idea of getting strong. So obviously the arch is important. When it's done right, it's safe. People should be trying to achieve that, but it can't be the only reason that you're a good bench presser.
A lot of girls hate benching, and you always see it on Instagram, the hashtag poverty bench and hashtag my weakest lift. From early on, girls are taught that they're not strong in the upper body. It's apparent when you're doing PE and they make the girls do the arm hang and the boys do the pull-ups. Number one, you have to believe that you can do it. So you have to go in the same mindset that you do for a deadlift or a squat, that mentality, I'm gonna get under the bar and I'm gonna be able to press it. Number two, having an arch is great, but focus on getting muscle. More muscle is gonna move the weight. Number one, have the mentality. Two, get more muscle. And then three, focus on the technique once you have those other two in place. Thank you guys for watching, and subscribe to Juggernaut YouTube channel.
Thanks for watching.